They're almost like an entitlement type people. This is one of my favorite pictures. You may not be able to see it. During the debate on this bill, what are those legislators doing? They're playing solitaire or some kind of card game, and they got busted by somebody taking their picture. You know, this is the type of thing that goes on, because all they want is a picture of themselves, be on TV, get this bill passed, get the money in from the special interests. This is not the politics that is acceptable. But there's hope, and the hope's you. And so I hope that you would agree with a lot of what I had to say, how we can turn America around, how we can get this country back on the right track. And that's why I'm running for Congress. Where I stand on these issues, I think it's a little bit clear, but you got to stop the insanity of deficit spending and overspending and government abuse. We got to say no to the career politicians. We got to speak out for freedom. We got to strengthen our security and friends overseas, and we can have real change. And that's what we want to do, real hope. Now, when you take these issues I talked about, and you look at Janice Hahn, you look at myself, all the things I'm saying about, she's just the opposite. It's a complete contrast of philosophy and positioning. I describe her economics as fantasy economics. She talks about, well, we'll take the troops home, and we'll help convert aerospace into green jobs, and we'll have 25,000 green jobs here. We'll create a green bank, and the government will fund this green bank, and bring all this money in for investing in green technology. Well, that's a fantasy. It's just like the stimulus money. It's just like, that is not how you run an economy. And it's not going to happen. So, if you like what I had to say, find 3 other voters to vote on the election. I'll tell you a little bit about it. All right. 2, if you're able, we could use volunteers to walk a precinct, walk a block or 2 blocks. You go with 2 people, it will give you what to say. Or be on the telephone. We've got a telephone script. Facebook, if any of you are on Facebook, I need friends. And a letter to the editor, blogging, and donations. Our biggest need right now is finances. But vote too. Let me just tell you what's happening vote-wise. This campaign is probably, I'm probably too close to it. To me, it's the dirtiest campaign I've ever seen. I read things that are lies and misrepresentations and absolute distortions of the truth, things I've never said, don't believe, trying to scare people. I'm trying to run a campaign with integrity. I think the voters are getting it. And during the primary, 18% of the people, 18% voted. That's all. This election will probably be less. 12% will probably vote. That means every single vote counts. Now, in this special election, people don't like the politics of Los Angeles, and the corruption, and the bankruptcy, and the dirty politics of the city of Los Angeles. And that's why Janice Hahn is this LA City Councilwoman. In the primary, she had that designation, Los Angeles City Councilwoman. She changed it for this runoff to local councilwoman. She ran from Los Angeles. Bowen supporters and some Winograd supporters are very angry at the way dirty politics were played against them. And they're sitting this thing out. And we're finding independents and Democrats, especially in San Pedro, but Wilmington and everywhere else, that are just saying, I've never voted Republican before, I'm going to vote for you. And there's a big Democratic edge in here. So somebody like me is supposed to lose badly. But let me tell you what's happened. So far, about 25,000 ballots, vote-by-mail ballots, have been sent. About 25,000. Janice Hahn is supposed to have 7,000 to 8,000 more votes than I do right now, based upon what has come in. Right now, it flip-flops between 400 or 500 votes here, 400 or 500 votes here. It's that close. This race could be won by 1 or 2 or 3 votes. Certainly it's going to be won by 400 or 500 votes if it's going to be that much. It's that close. Most people don't vote. I can tell you, if you like a little bit of what I've said here, if you want to send a message to Washington, D.C. and say, we're tired of this economic policy. We're tired of the deficit spending. We're tired of being treated like we're treated. We're tired of the rising prices, and we're tired of the unemployment. What we do here in electing me will let Congress and the media and Obama know that California is finally getting it. It's going to be like a California earthquake going all the way back to Washington,